creating that inception in the brain.
The brain.
In the brain.
Insane in the membrane. This shit is lame.
Insane in the membrane. Insane in the brain. Ah.
Aqueous experience. Keeping the questions asked.
Expressing a big love. Capital, all capital letters. Expressing a big love. And understanding and seeing that others' inability to reciprocate. Just seeing that it's not there. Like there's just no, they don't know how to respond or react to. And then that creates self-doubt and self-sabotage.
Yeah, the inability to reciprocate. And I think it's a mutual stalemate, because that's why people aren't really showing their real selves vulnerable, because they're probably fearful that there's no reciprocation, you know. And how much more would it be for someone to reject that? Are you being truly honest? Like, that hurts, you know. Like, it's like, yeah, then where is the connection?
A sadness for the collective that we put ourselves through this torment. If we were just honest and we had more self-love within ourselves to express in a free nature and to just have faith in ourselves to act freely, not out of fear, having a sense of self-worth, but we stop ourselves. Everyone is just putting up a guard.
People are so focused on self-image, but
we're all focused on the same image.
Right. You brought a very good point. Some people are just like afraid of kindness or mistake it as like...
They're uncomfortable. So
yeah,
they reject it and they look at us.
It's like, why is this guy being so nice? He must want something out of me. Or he must want to get something, you know? Like, no, I don't want anything at all. I just genuinely want to extend my help or whatever I can do.
Yeah, I've been told multiple times, why does it look like you're up to something?
Yeah.
Like, up to nothing.
Yeah.
It's just me. It's vibrating.
Exactly.
No, yeah, I had a situation at work where I was walking through the lobby and there was a group of coworkers and I just, let loose and just did a little spazzing out and was like, what's up everybody? How is your day going? And just big arms, big jazz fingers. Just
jazz
very
fingers.
Emotive. And they all looked at me with big eyes, straight smile, straight face, and just chuckled and was like, you're weird. And said, all right, I'll take it. And walked out. But it's like, damn, tough crowd.
I think it's the work environment, though. There's like this status quo of acting a certain way, but fuck that. Like, if anything, I want weird to be the status quo, because everyone would be such more in a happier place expressing themselves and not having to worry about shit, you know?
The structure that we're placed in is sickening.
Yeah. Say how you feel. Say what you want. You know what I mean? Like, don't be hiding around masks or like trying to tell me what you want, but just trying to say it in a different way. And then like,
we're all human. We all know what we do when we go home.
Exactly.
So getting more esoteric.
Esoteric flow. Let's go.
Diving into duality, the yin and yang, poles, nodes, overall feminine and masculine.
Yin and yang. Hot, cold, fire, water, feminine, masculine.
Just literally the balance. So we're noticing an imbalance in this feminine and masculine. It's corrupt. It's warped in its viewpoint of how things have to be. The image of man and woman is distorted.
It is, yeah. It's segregated, really, and it's like compartmentalizing something. And that's the thing, is like the divine masculine and feminine is within all of us. And when you start putting shit in a box, we're not meant to be put in a box.
And if we were only to embrace the balance, which is imbalanced, we would get where we need to be much faster.
Oh, I agree 100%.
We're all maintaining this image. We're image of the American dream, masculinity. Oh, we have to have this, that, this in this order. It's just toxicity plaguing everybody's judgment.
I want to make a funny joke off that. Like, it's like we're looking at life like a la carte. Like it's it's fries and a burger thing, you know. But it's not that.
It's the whole menu.
The whole menu, yeah. It's the whole menu, man. It's the full course. It's not just the.
So
yeah.
This imbalance causes us to act out in extremes, in authenticity, not allowing us to dive deep and explore our true self, our authentic self.
It discourages it. That's why.
We have these manipulated viewpoints and paradigms of societal norms. And we're all trying to cling on to those norms and those images so tightly because we're scared to move on into the new.
And you said it right there too. Is like being scared. The energy of fear. If there's like a scale,
it's deadly.
The spectrum of scale, it's pretty toxic. It's what it is, you know. And
we're all living in fear.
We're all living in fear. And I think that's what toxicity is based off of. Fear is like the fuel, and we're just gaslighting each other. And there's no room to breathe because everyone's just feeding off the same kind of flame and energy.
The same image.
And if anything, it just becomes even more toxic because we're just like matching up each other's flames, you know.
It leads into how we create barriers, guards, walls in place to keep this expression limited. And just like you said, toxic air, gaslighting each other. We're in this box, we can't breathe. We're in a barrier that's no longer able to contain this toxicity. Oh man, it's all gonna explode. I keep hearing it's gonna get worse before it gets better.
We're just in a vicious cycle, and it's.
I have this little ritual that I do every morning. I open a tea bag and I save the quote. I like to collect the little quotes on the little tabs.
So that's where it's coming from.
One of them that I got said, and it was from Socrates, who was a philosopher. He says, "We can't build the new by fighting with the old." So going back to the being met with resistance, we have to set the example. And at times I may not want to because of people's
It takes a
behavior.
lot. Yeah, it's like otherwise the ship is not going to sail, and your ships won't come. No ships will come if no one wants to fucking grab the helm and just take that ship out in the sea, regardless where it goes. You know, like
a more important thing. I've never been met with negativity when I use this approach. When I approach someone in the ways that I want to be approached, and I treat them with the respect and the kindness
that's beautiful
that I wish to receive, not once have I ever been met with cruelty.
How do you feel we're at with progress? So you mentioned about the whole creative aspect of, you know, with social media and technology where people are now enabled to express themselves. Do you think this is what's going to perpetuate or at least start leading us into that self-expressive sense of vulnerability?
Yes. I like to see things as both different.
Yeah.
Well, there's a duality to the situation on both ends. I think
true that.
It's an easier and more accessible outlet to express your vulnerability, but we also need to remember to bring that into the physical.
To your day-to-day life, your in-person's balance. Because if that be the only scapegoat, then
that's gets lost in it.
Get lost in it. It's just going to be a crutch. It's going to just be a crutch that you're just going to use for that, not actually live it in the physical realm. And that's where, if anything, it should be at the most.
What kind of value do we have behind it?
But there's just so much more to it. Like I guess kind of sharing my journey as a musician, there was a part of my younger self that wanted self being highly acclaimed, but that's not part of it anymore. Really, for me, it's healing not to just even do it because I love it so much, but it's even more rewarding when you can reach out to people who can connect with it, and maybe it might heal them in some aspect.
at the end of it all, we all want connection. Just how do we go about it?
Connection. It's funny because when you mean connection, you know, we're talking about cables into like machines and things. That seems like those are the only connections that we have, but we want more.
Aren't we in a machine?
Random shit.
Sometimes I wonder.
Yeah.
I wonder sometimes. Okay. Speaking of connections and technology, and
Yeah.
since we're going there,
Yeah. Let's go there.
me and my friends, we were smoking, and when we smoke, we just start like going on rants about like just downloads that we're getting, of, like,
Yeah.
how we see the world, and we were connecting how the motherboard of a computer mimics the outline of like our streets, our roadways, our buildings.
Yes, like the metropolitan cities and stuff.
Cities, yeah.
Cities, yeah.
We
Interesting.
are driving our cars every day in these spheres of metal, these metal horses reflecting light, and we're driving through these pathways all day, every day.
Still kind of talking about the whole idea about feminine and masculine. Is there's no, you're Christian or I'm Hinduist or whatever. There's a compartmentalization, but really, I think all knowledge, esoteric, spiritual, is beautiful, and I think
all has
we
the
could all
same
learn.
end goal.
Yeah, it's all has the same end goal, the same end game as far as the byproduct of either practicing or believing these things, whether that's friendship connection or whether that's a marital. Or just connection to your purpose. It comes down to connection.